Hello, I'm Karen Brooks, Executive Director of Early Music America. It is our honor and privilege today to announce the 2021 recipients of Early Music America's Howard Mayer Brown Award for Lifetime Achievement in Early Music. This award is named in memory of the renowned and beloved musicologist from the University of Chicago, Howard Mayer Brown. Brown's scholarship covered a wide range of subjects. He published on the music of the Renaissance, especially the chanson and instrumental music, and frequently returned to problems in historical performance practice, a subfield in which he was one of the most important commentators. I'm delighted today to introduce Frank Nowell from the EMA Board of Directors. He's chair of the awards committee, and Frank will have the happy task of announcing the recipient.
Thank you, Karen. It's with great pleasure that we announce the recipients of the 2021 Howard Mayer Brown Award, the co-directors of Piffaro, Joan Kimball and Bob Wiemken.
Wow. What a privilege, what a delight, oh my goodness. After 40 years of work, we couldn't imagine that it would come to this, but it's a real thrill.
Thank you.
I'll just quote from one of the nominations before turning it over to you, Joan and Bob. I cannot think of two more deserving people for the Howard Mayer Brown Award than Joan Kimball and Bob Wiemken, the co-directors of Piffaro, the Renaissance band. Most people in early music know how difficult it is to start and run a group. Making that group a successful nonprofit in our small but crowded field is considerably more difficult, and keeping a small ensemble viable over 4 decades is next to impossible. Bob and Joan have managed all three. Even more important than that is to this wind player is that they did it with a type of ensemble that is extremely important historically, while at the same time being woefully underrepresented in modern times, the Renaissance wind band. Bob and Joan continue Howard Mayer Brown's work with every concert and educational opportunity. Their programs are thoughtfully researched, well put together, and historical performance practice is always considered. Adding to that, the wide range of instruments they have collected, maintained, transported, and in some cases on which they have trained group members. And I think they occupy a singular space in the recent history of the early music revival in America. Congratulations, Joan and Bob.
Wow. Well,
thank you so much.
We are so deeply honored, and this is amazing. And that wonderful tribute, that wonderful writing that I think is one of our band members wrote is just, I am so touched by that, and just feel incredibly honored that we have been given this award. So thank you, EMA for making this possible for us and recognizing. But when we started 40 years ago, we would have had absolutely no idea that this would have happened and that we would have gotten where we are today. It was just something that we did and thought, well, let's just give it a try. And 40 years later, it sort of is here. So,
and we have to thank all of the Piffarites, as we think of them and call them over the many years, especially the current crew of Priscilla Harrod and Grant Harrod, Eric Schmaltz and Greg Ingalls, for their contributions, their knowledge, their skill as performers, and wonderful as people as well. That we have been blessed with wonderful individuals in Piffaro over the many, many years, and they deserve a great deal of that credit as well.
Absolutely.
Well, we have a surprise for you because they're all here with us today to celebrate.
Wow.
Let's hear a little music, and then when we return,
great.
You'll begin to meet them.
was one that we recorded in 2016 in our Don Quixote project. It is called Simile,
Regnum Chalaron.
by Francisco
We've
Guerrero.
played quite a few pieces over the 40 years.
Hard to remember them all. Anyway, that one with the full band we performed in that concert.
And it's been one of the marks of the band from the very beginning, when it was founded in 1980, to pursue wind playing, especially double reed playing of the Renaissance. And this is an example of what we've come to over the many years as we've added to the double reed family, the saxophone in the historical fashion, and the sound. We just absolutely adore the sound and love playing.
I'd like to bring in Eric Schmaltz now to say a few words to you.
Hi, well,
Eric,
I'm happy
welcome.
to be here.
Eric, oh my gosh.
Happy to be here, and of course, congratulations to Joan and Bob. I definitely write better than I speak, but I can echo my words. You know, over the 40 years that Piffaro's been going on, all of these performances and recordings have become reference for me and all of the Renaissance winners. You know, if we are looking for something to work on at a summer workshop or to perform, you look stuff up, and the Piffaro recordings are always what we listen to. You know, and over the years, it's just gotten better and if not more elaborate, at least interesting. You know, like you can see from our recording from that 2016 production, it's, I don't know of anyone else who's doing this sort of thing. And it went over into 2020 when Bob and Joan decided to do these recordings and keep us employed, which is somewhat important.
Right.
But all of the work has
important.
been great.
Well, thank you, Eric. You have been a valuable member. That you, from the time that you guested with us, and then when we made you a full member with, you know, but that you realize still though that the only reason you're a full member, the stipulation is that you have to learn how to play bagpipe.
I'm working on
otherwise,
it. It's right back there.
Yep, that's right. That's right.
Basila's counting on you.
Shall we have some more music now?
that was a wonderful piece we recorded for our January 12th night show this year. Recorders, and you know, the history of Piffaro sort of developed as Joan and I learned what we were doing and what it meant to be a wind band and what we needed to be playing. And one of the things we learned is 440 probably wasn't the right pitch for us to be playing at. So we decided to go to high pitch, and the recorder consort was the first of the instruments that we bought and commissioned for our ensemble to play at Renaissance, so-called Renaissance high pitch. It was a piece by John Cooper, a Corporario, and just it gives a good idea of the recorder sound together with lute.
Yeah, and then the guest, we had a guest artist for that show, Mark Kimball, joined us and accompanied a number of the pieces on lute. Mm-hmm. And that was the second of the virtual pieces that were the recordings that we did for our virtual season, recorded in a church in Philadelphia.
Well, I'd like to bring on right now one of the recorder players who's been with you for a very long time, since she was terribly young, since she was a teenager, in fact. And one of the other musicians. I'd like to bring on Priscilla and Grant Herod to wish you the very best.
Oh, wow. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Yes, since I was terribly, terribly young. And actually, I remember the first time I heard, maybe not the first time, but pretty early on when I heard a recorder consort with Piffaro playing, I remember having a visceral reaction to that sound of particularly Renaissance recorders. I remember it was at the Madison Festival and you played an 8-part piece in your English program, and I remember just crying. It was the coolest sound. It just goes into your bones, and I thought, I want to do this so badly, because I'd been playing Baroque recorder for years, but I still remember, and watching this now, it takes me right back to that, 15, 16 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I could just add that, along with what Eric was saying, we've done so many pieces over the last 40 years in Piffaro, and, so many concerts, so many tours, so many different programs. And I don't know how many pieces there would be, 1,500 or something. I have no idea. Through all our rehearsals over all these years, I only remember maybe throwing out maybe 1 or 2 pieces this whole time, because Bob and Joan had honed the art of picking the right music for the right scorings better than anybody I know. So that's just one small testament to their the knowledge and the expertise they gained over the years of working so hard on this repertory, that the choices of the Piffaro, if a piece was chosen by them for loud band, for sackbuts and shawms, we hardly ever tweaked the orchestration. It was just really pretty right on. And things for the recorders, they figured out whether it would have to go up, it would sound better down a 4th or down a 5th or up a step. Just super impressed. And in everything, in all my own projects that I do, I strive to emulate that really just really fine-honed sense of hearing what a piece is going to sound like on the instruments before you present it to the group. So
and I think it goes hand in hand with knowing these instruments as well as they do, because they've never rested on their laurels. We in the 15 or 16 years that I've known them and been playing soprano shawm, we've gone through, I think, 4 or 5 different setups, staple and reed setups, because it's, you're never satisfied. Let's see how we can do this better, and can we get a better sound out of this, or I'm thinking this isn't quite what I'm striving for. And so they just know these instruments and their purposes so innately, and so it's they can look at a piece and know exactly how it's going to work for us particularly, and it's just marvelous.
Oh, thank you, Priscilla and Grant.
Thank you. But I just have to say that so much of what we've done has been so dependent on our bandmates, and how well you have joined in, and come on, all the suggestions you've made over the years too, and helped us to figure this out. So it has certainly been a very, very collegial and a democratic process that We're not up here saying do it this way. We're up here with you saying let's try this, and if you have any idea that it might be better, please let us know. And so we've been so grateful to our bandmates for what we've been able to do over these years, and give you guys lots of credit.
Well, that's a great moment for bringing in the other bandmate that's here today. Come a long way away.
Couldn't do it without him.
There you are.
Congratulations from California. Yeah, good to see you.
Thank you.
Let me just add to everyone else that congratulations are definitely in order. That it couldn't happen to nicer people. Like Bob and Joan are fantastic directors, but they're also just good, nice people. One of the best things about the group is how personable everyone is, and we work together. It's not just a group that comes together for rehearsals, and then we all go our own way. We kind of hang out after rehearsals. We definitely have beers together after rehearsals, and make dinners usually one night a week all together, which is a very special thing. It doesn't happen in other groups like this. And one thing I wanted to say that it's been especially nice working with Bob and Joan all these years that they allow for growth in their band members, and for people to there's room for experimentation, room for personal growth, whether it's playing new instruments that you haven't thought you'd play before, like recorder or crumhorn in my personal but also with being to the concerts and our series at home, and then traveling with them and playing them multiple times, and then possibly recording them. There's room for experimentation with the orchestration, like Grant was talking about, or ornamentation, or just trying new things out and pushing your growth as a musician and as a group as well. It kind of goes symbiotically together. And they're great directors that they allow the space for the musicians to do that. It's just been very, I think everyone who's played with them, not just the four of us, but all the other members who've ever played and the guests have grown from that experience, just because I know my Renaissance playing is completely marked by my time at Piffaro, and it's I couldn't have had a better upbringing in that genre than with these two, and these all the others actually. Yeah.
And I would have to say that your growth stimulated my growth too, because as you as individuals have pursued new things, I've said, "Oops, I've got to keep up with this. I've got to keep my own performance at a level," and that's been a wonderful symbiosis, I think, among us all. I've loved that aspect of the ensemble.
Absolutely, yes.
There's another very important person who's part of the team, and I know that Joan and Bob might like to introduce her to everybody here before we close out with the last excerpt.
Yes, we would love everybody to know our wonderful executive director, Shannon Klein, who has been with us. Shannon, I can't think how many. I think it's been 10 years. 10 I don't know. 10 years. And without you, we would not be where we are today. You have been the most incredibly important part of this team and helped out so much along the way with all that you have brought to the back end of things, fundraising and marketing and I don't know, budgeting and all those things that one has to do to keep an organization going. And on top of all that, you've been a wonderful friend too. I love the friendship that we've had together over these years, and it's been very special. And I think you've bandmates will agree to it, that you are a very, very special part of what Piffaro has done and what Piffaro continues to do. So,
amen.
Thank you.
Joan, you and Bob have been such a pleasure and joy to work with behind the scenes. I mean, a dream for any arts administrator. You know, the word singular is perfect to describe the two of you. You know, your intelligence and your creativity, but also your kindness and your generosity have really created over the years a very specific Piffaro world that people love to be a part of. I think the musicians love being a part of it. I love being a part of it. Our audiences, you know, when I first started, I was struck by how much love the audiences have for you and for being part of this world. People would tell me with such pride all the time, I've been here since they were the Philadelphia Renaissance Wind Band. People, you've created something that brings people so much joy that they love being part of, and that's not just the music. It's the two of you. It's who you are, and the way that permeates what you've made. So thank you for bringing me into your world and letting me be a part of it for the past 10 years. I've loved being here.
Oh, thank you very much, Shannon.
Thank you, Shannon.
Yes.
Yes, thank you, Joan and Bob. I mean, we cannot imagine life without you, quite frankly. So, you are utterly worthy recipients of the 2021 Howard Mayer Brown Award. And I wonder if you'd like to introduce the last piece of music before we close out and just give our audience another opportunity to hear you.
Sure, yes.
One of the great joys we've had over the years is playing with so many of our colleagues. Piffaro has managed to bring as guest artists to our series. I mean, the list goes on, and it's wonderful to be able to enjoy playing with them and to learn from them as well. So this is from a concert in which we joined together. We had the group Sonambula String Group, and we did a dance show of Terpsichore, Praetorius's dances, and it was a real hit. It was great fun to play together with them. And the final piece on the show is, I think, culminates and summarizes all that we've done, the joy of what we've been doing over the last 40 years and the privilege of working with so many great people.
It's called Volta. It's a Volta, and it's by Michael Pretorius.